Every once in a while I get a video request, and sometimes I actually do them. Hello comic book junkies, it's the Frog Queen here, and today I'm doing a requested video. This is my top 10 Euro books. So here are my top 10 picks in no particular order, and yes, I've got way more in my head, but I just decided to stop at 10 because then this video would end up being very, very, very long. By Tony Sandoval. He is a Spanish artist and writer. This one was released by Magnetic Press before they merged with Lionforge. It's one of my very favorite books. It's gorgeous. Tony's done a lot of other work since this one. He's got a very unique style. Definitely check that one out. Where am I going to pile these books? Here, okay. Next is a series that kind of looks like a manga from First Second called Last Man. It is a French series. You can always check out my website at thefrogqueen.com. I've actually interviewed Balak about this particular series. There's 6 books available in English currently, and a television series which has yet to be dubbed or translated. And I don't think I found actual fan subs in English yet, but you could probably try and find them online. I've actually got, I think, a couple videos about Last Man, a couple reviews as well. Just go through my videos. I know I've got quite a few now, and I can't even remember everything that I've actually covered. Next, I have The 6 Voyages of Lone Sloan by Philip Druitt. Which is another French painter. This is from the psychedelic era of the 60s. I believe this one, actually, which year? I can look it up. This one was originally published in, and it doesn't say. Fabulous. I think it was like 68 or something, but no, 72. Originally published in 72. There you go. Anyway, for those of you who don't know who Philip Druitt is, he is one of the men who originally started Heavy Metal Magazine, or Les Humanoids, which ended up being, in France, Metal Hurlant, which eventually came to North America as Heavy Metal Magazine. And next, this is one of my very, very favorite comics of all time. This one's called Miss Don't Touch Me. This is by Hubert and Karasok. Karasok is a German and French duo, husband and wife, I think. I can't remember quite exactly. You can follow them on Instagram, but they have a very unique style. And I really, really love this story. It's actually a lighthearted story about a dominatrix, but someone who wasn't originally going to be a dominatrix. There's 2 volumes of this. First one is still my favorite, but in general, really, really good. You can still get this online, I think at Chapters. I don't think I've seen it on Amazon. Next, we have The Sword of Glass. This is a Humanoids release. I think this was originally published either in Spanish or Italian. I cannot recall now. Laura Zuccari, I've interviewed before. You can find an interview with me and her when this originally first came out, I think 2 years ago, from Humanoids. Just go to thefrogqueen.com and enter it in the search. Sword of Glass, and it should pop right up. But she is an amazing artist, and she won a couple awards for this book in particular. And she's currently working on another release, a story, but I don't think she's actually released the title for it yet. You can follow her on Instagram and Facebook. Next, I've covered this one extensively. It's obvious. I had to include a couple Mobius books, obviously. The World of Adina by Mobius. This one, of course, was released just this year, just the end of 2016 actually, by Dark Horse. Won't bother showing that because I've showed you 1,000 times. And next, Jodorowsky and Mobius, The Inkle, which I just have to include because it's the classic. It's kind of like the definitive sci-fi. It is the book that inspired The Fifth Element, and it also spawned one prequel that Jodorowsky wrote, and it inspired a sequel as well. So there's Before the Inkle and After the Inkle, which are both really, really good. Of course, Mobius did not draw them. He wasn't around for that. This one has a foreword by Bendis as well, so that's kind of cool. Every Humanoids edition of the Inkle includes kind of like different forewords, different notes, different little things. So every edition you get was going to be slightly different from the last one. Next is Jodorowsky and Monera. This is probably my favorite Monera book, honestly, which is the Borgias, which is the retelling of the family, the Borgias, that basically usurped the papal status, the Pope. He became the new Pope, and his family kind of controlled all this money and power, but they're a really messed up family. It talks a little about incest and all these other crazy things that happened. And it's historical, but it's also romanticized, so I don't know how 100% accurate it is. If you watch the Netflix series, there's a series on Netflix called The Borgias. It's pretty much exactly the same as this book, although I doubt that was really following Jodorowsky's scripting, but... And it's pretty classic Monera. Oh, might have to cut that bit out. There was nudity. Anyway. Next, I have Nadja by J.D. Morvan and Bengal, who just goes by Bengal. He never goes by two names. It's just Bengal. Both French writer and French artist, I believe. I know Bengal is French anyway. They live in France. So Nadja is really great. This one was released by Magnetic Press, as you can see. Magnetic Press also made these really beautiful hardbound books, and they're really good price point. Like, I think this one was only $29.99 US, which is actually like a really good price for such a large, nicely bound book. They also don't include dust covers, like unfortunately Dark Horse was doing for a while. These awful dust covers that just got ripped up and just looked shit, basically. But Bengal is one of my other favorite artists. As you can see, he's got a really unique style. It's pretty manga-esque. If you look at the characters on the back, definitely some manga inspiration. Of course, he now is mostly working for Marvel. He's been drawing, what is it? The new Wolverine. He's been drawing new Wolverine for a lot. He does a lot of covers, and I believe, yes, he'd also been doing DC, so he'd been doing Batgirl, a lot of Batgirl. I don't know what's going on with my hair. It's early in the morning, so screw it. Next, actually the last one, but of course these are not in particular order. I have Beautiful Darkness, which is another Karasok book. This one is written by Fabian Vellman, who has written tons and tons of books published by Cinebook, which I've covered quite extensively. Actually, I've covered a bunch of his books on here, so you can definitely find those. These are the same people that did the artwork for Miss Don't Touch Me, but in a totally different light. And it's a pretty intensely insane book. It's one of my favorites. Whoops. It's beautiful, but it's really dark and creepy, and it looks like it's for kids, but it's not at all for children. If I can try and find one of like the crazy things here, it's so hard to flip through these on the spot. But there's just like all these weird characters. Like this one's got one eye, but all these really cruel things, and it talks about death a lot. And anyway, that's one of my favorites. And that completes my first top 10 list of Euro books. I could definitely do another one. I feel like I could do a lot of them because I seem to just read a lot of like translated works. But that's because there's so many amazing Euro books available. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. And that's it for me for now, I guess. It's kind of a different video from you as a request. Until next time, read something good. Bye.